And happy Friday, and welcome back to La Vida Baseball. Being Guillén with one out of the four Guilléns today. I feel like we're
forfeiting.
It's like we forfeited the game.
We forfeited the game. Oh my God.
So Ozzie is back in Miami for a couple weeks. Hopefully we'll get him on remote soon. And then Oni is out on a mini vacation to California. He'll hopefully be joining us fairly soon with some videos and updates. But welcome Adela's dad, second dad, grandfather.
First dad.
You're with Adela 24/7, making my life a lot easier. And Ozzie.
Well, I think that's I've been good. I love it. I love it every second. I know, when you get older, it's kind of hard to take care of kids.
Yeah.
More often, but I do love it. I have a great time. I enjoy it. It makes this virus come by quicker than what I thought. And be around Adela, bro. Oof.
It's a full-time job.
What? Oh my God. That's this lady got so more energy. I think she knows how to take anything to live her life. She's energy, funny, smart, and I'm glad. I'm glad I can spend a lot of time with them.
Awesome. So we got a packed show today. First question we're gonna ask. Obviously, the concept right now, everyone's just waiting intensely between Major League Players Association and the owners. And the Major League Players Association, has asked for more testing. The report came out. What were your first thoughts about their 67-page report with all the rules that they want to implement with the teams and if they come back and play?
Well, I think it's safe for the kid. I think it's safe for Major League Baseball players, safe for the fans, safe for everything. But that's just kind of a joke.
Which one was your favorite, the funniest thing that you saw?
Don't shake hands and don't celebrate and don't speak.
No spitting, no spit.
No spitting. I say, how do you know what it's being like? That's normal. That's like the play. Even you playing golf, you're spitting with.
No, it's not because of chewing tobacco. It's spitting because obviously the water, the sunflower seeds. It's just something.
Even you don't do anything. You speak. You go to the plate. You just like.
Also routine. I think it's sometimes some guys it feels like when you're hitting, it has built up some sort of routine. I thought the funniest one was not showering after the game.
Well, if you're gonna take the virus, you can take it on the bus coming from the hotel to the ballpark. If you're gonna no shower in the locker room, what's the difference you make when you sweat? That's gonna get you.
I really don't know the scientific. Again, there's this whole scientific thing is that if you're on the outside, you have a lesser chance to catch it. But then you won't let guys shower in the clubhouse, so they're gonna bring all their clothes and everything back to the hotel, which I don't think is as clean as a clubhouse, in my opinion. I don't know what kind of clubhouses these people have been to.
When you bring 1980s, when you bring in the 80s, they used to be you undress in the clubhouse, but they take that clothes someplace
to do the laundry.
Nowadays, clubhouse is so nice, so big, so beautiful. They have so many things there. They do the laundry in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
And I wonder, it's like, I don't get it, man. I'm so confused about this. I wish I could curse.
Well, you can curse. So here's the part that's funny, and this is where I want to. Major League Baseball always gets it wrong because I know they used to do it with managers because they never said, "Hey, Ozzie, what do you think about this list?" We never got an email or a survey. When you're a manager, they never ask managers anything, yet they would pass rules and laws all the time. I know it doesn't happen with players. They don't ask players like, hey, what do you guys think? So I guarantee you with this new rule testing, did they ask any trainers, any people that, work in the dugout?
Excuse me.
No.
Well, no, really, when they do the test, a drug test, good. Okay, if you have a virus, how you call it, Corona?
Well, it's called COVID-19. I call it the Rona.
Okay, the Rona. If you have the Rona, it's the same thing if you're going to have, okay, you know how many people got infected with the flu or somebody have a bad stomach, they're sending home, do not leave the clubhouse, do not leave the training room. It's not me, okay, guys, nine guys got sick. It's never happened. I don't think it's going to happen. I think if the players,
I just thought something really
funny. Wait a minute, if the players, how you say the hepatitis C.
Hepatitis C.
I remember in Cleveland, everybody get a shot.
Yeah.
Everybody, that's the worst.
MRSA, remember when the MRSA scare for the White Sox? They thought there was MRSA in the clubhouse and cleared it out in Detroit.
Yeah, all of a sudden we walk in, if we get a shot, I'm the worst guy if I get a shot.
Yeah, you don't like needles.
I told Hermie, I remember, I don't care. If I die, I'm not going to get a shot. Tony La Russa went out and said, you better get a shot.
Yeah.
And I did get a shot. Nothing happened to anyone. Nothing. And that get infected quicker and more danger than the corona, the Rona.
The Rona?
Yeah, but it's so many stupid things thinking, I want them to play. Yes. And we want baseball. Yes. If we agree with baseball, yes. Okay, listen, guys. Keep it to yourself, all the rules. Because I know because if they say the rule, we can talk about it. We have a job, talk about that.
Well, I think it's funny because people would think it's a big deal, like players going to the stadium wearing a uniform. It really is not.
You play winter league.
They do it, but it's
not. Well, it used to, not anymore.
No, but it's also
even in winter league now.
They have a locker room.
Yeah, they got a locker room.
The reason they used to do that before was because they didn't have the facilities to do that. Right now, I will go on a limb because I don't know every facility, but I've been to 90% of them. That they have great washing machines. They have a great staff to
better than any place.
I thought they would literally go the other way and say everybody has to sleep in the stadium. No one leaves the stadium. Instead of the whole
nobody leave in the club. Everybody go to sleep in the club.
Correct. And again, that's also people need to understand this. And I want you to explain and elaborate on this, Ozzie. There's Major League Baseball rules, and then there is team rules. Mm-hmm. Okay. Some teams might say we're just going with the Major League Baseball rules. If we're in New York and in New York allows you to go eat in restaurants, you guys can go eat in restaurants. And then there's other teams that are going to say we're on lockdown. So do you still believe that should be a team decision on team rules? On can you be more strict or more lenient after the league rules are in place?
I think baseball listen more to the team rules than the Major League Baseball rules. That's a fact. I see rules like you cannot wear long hair.
And everybody's got long hair.
You cannot wear baggy pants. Everybody wear baggy pants. You cannot wear a shirt open up all the way to down here. They use it. You cannot wear that type of shoes, white shoes with it. They wear.
The shoes is a big one. The violation, like the sleep. Yeah. How about if when guys are going to say, here's $100,000. I'm going to fine me every time I spit on the field, but I'm not changing the way that I do this. You don't think that's going to happen?
Sure, but what the hell is the guy going for? I wonder. The league never said this, and maybe baseball never said that. What? At least I don't know. I've spent a lot of time in the big league. I never noticed about it. When you get fined by the
where does the money go? I have no idea. You know what? Good question. Major League Baseball, tell us where the money goes to fine umpires. I really don't know. I don't know if I wish it's for. I hope it's for charity. But you've been fined obviously as a manager. But you've also you were fined as a player because you had a pin.
Yes.
And it was during the postseason push. And obviously, again, players do get fined. They pay it. But we saw it in Korea. There's a rule that says, this is one of the other funnier ones, no fighting allowed. Well, there isn't no fighting allowed right now. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
Well, it's one thing about it. It's not fight allowed in baseball. Period.
No, period. That's why you get suspended.
You're going to hit me? Why going to hit you? We're going to
It's called life.
Fly hard. And listen, I know fight is very bad for baseball, for human beings. Two teams go down, maybe can be hurt. Somebody can maybe not play for the rest of their life. But I think fight is part of the baseball game.
Yeah.
You look at the highlight, the best thing ever happened in baseball, the biggest fight. They always show you the big
on YouTube, that's pretty much that, and home run hitting and like walk-offs are probably the biggest thing that people looked at least me.
Okay, let me see. I want to know, it's not supposed to be people in the stands. That means scouts, anybody, Major League Baseball. In Major League Baseball, who's going to have a guy like, hey, just people on the floor?
That's what I mean. That's the rule.
You check this guy's hand. Hey, I said, listen, guys. If I was a manager, I'm talking about manager. I hope managers don't take my ideas like they always do, and don't give me any credit. I told the guys in the media, I said, listen, guys, let's protect ourselves. Everybody has his own towel. Everybody has his own water. If you want to spit, make sure you're not spitting somebody's.
Yeah, respect somebody's.
Okay, let me see. Just spit on the floor. Is somebody going to come out like
and lick it? No, here's the other thing. No, people don't sneeze in their hands like I just did, and then go give a high five to a player. No, you go and wash your hands.
I'll tell you what.
It's called
if you sneeze, then before the Rona, and you're going to check somebody, it's a fight.
Yeah, in the clubhouse there is because you're respecting it. So you're not respecting before the rules.
Before the Rona. Then you told me like, come on, man, let the players be what they're supposed to be. Let the players do what they're supposed to do. Have fun. So many rules, so many the pine card, this and you know what? If we're gonna go by these rules, we're gonna see that type of baseball. Cancel.
Yeah,
cancel the season.
Well,
that's easy.
You used to be really so. There's like a rule that Ozzie had. Basically, he hated when players would walk in the dining room table with no shirt on. You hated
the rules.
You said if you're gonna come to a public area where there's food and there's people eating, do not come here in your sliding shorts and no shirt on, sitting here with your sandal. That was like a known thing in the teams that you managed. That was not cool. Or you hated when guys would, or front office people, or guys would cut the line and put their hand in the food and dig in.
I got in a fight with
you got in a fight with a couple of front office people because of that. But those were just rules that you were like, this is like a house. We're all roommates here. We live here, and because a clubhouse is a house. It's like you guys make their own rules. Like, hey man, what are you doing? Like from music to you just being dirty and disgusting. It's something that it's police. So I really don't think that players need to have rules.
Clean is so much stuff inside the clubhouse. People don't realize that. People say, man, you have the same clothes.
Oh, that's a huge one.
Yesterday. That's the one. Second one. Hey, did you see this guy in no shower?
He has a shower.
He went home quick.
Yeah.
No matter if the guy have a problem in his house or he was in a hurry or whatever it is, the guy does say, hey, you even showered yesterday.
They notice that.
Watch every
they do.
Little
they
thing.
do. They do.
By the way, a secret. Frank Thomas never showered with us. He always bought a shower back in the training room.
Wasn't about the team shower.
You know what? The team shower. He's always showered there. Then Frank Thomas hit him 390, like always did. I'm hitting 210, 400, and I told Walter Reed, I said, you know what? I'm going to do the same stuff Frank did. And I start shower in the back. You know, Henry Snyder got a beautiful locker room. I went on the back, shower by myself, relax, a couple beers, come out, over for Frank, 5 for 5 with 2 home runs.
So it wasn't the shower.
Next day, it wasn't the shower. It's Frank just don't want to be bothered by no one. And I did the same thing. And some people making fun of me. The Latino go, hey, I know you while you shower there. God no bless you.
No,
I know what they're like. Hey, man, I just want to relax. But the players out there, they're so clean. They put the vacuum you can see clothes.
So there's a part. So people don't realize this. Like you don't sit in a clubhouse and you just eat. It's actually you get.
I leave you sitting in Cincelejos clubhouse.
Oh, that's a club. But I'm saying Major League Baseball, like you're literally eating. And guys like Mark Sassetti, Tom Boffitt do an amazing job.
Those clubbies are
number one in baseball.
In baseball, my clubbies in Miami and in Chicago.
Even the business side, but literally, like these guys literally put their drink down, and somebody's picking it up, cleaning it up for them. And the clubbies, I've talked to guys, and they're not very concerned. Like, oh, I'm not going to go work. They want to work. They want to work. They want to make it comfortable for people in baseball. So I feel like the people that made the rules, when I was reading them, they've never been in a clubhouse. I think the safest place for my players, I literally think the safest place for players
is in the clubhouse.
Yeah. If you're in the clubhouse, nothing's going to happen to you.
It's funny because the people make those rules. Well, right now the Player Association boss, he's a former player.
Well, maybe I think sometimes when he says things, I forget that he was a former player.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, really, you forgot where you come from, what you did, what you say. I think you need a drastic guy to help you about exactly what's happening, because it's funny because I see the rule when you go to exchange lineups.
Yeah.
No, we can do this. I think we can talk. The umpire is going to tell you, hey, listen, if I see somebody shake hands, it's $200 fine. If I see somebody spinning on the floor, it's $300.
Is it an ejection? I was worried about ejection.
Check the lineup. Check the lineup. You know how to listen. When you sit with the umpire, when you talk to the umpire and the coach or whoever manager's coming in, meet the umpires in their own play. I never did. Earlier at least I had some argument to talk to. We never talk about rules. We never talk. We talk about somebody in the front office. Why it happened? What you eat yesterday? A lot of coaches come out with a stupid joke. Yeah. Or the umpire told you a joke. You know what I mean? They never talk about the game. They don't, or rules, or at least It's a 5 to 9. Well, no, not there either. When you have a 5 to 9,
they get a call.
They call you.
Yeah.
And they put the rule before we take the field. And when we take the field, the umpire says, remember, that's the only thing they say. Remember, it's a warning.
Yeah. And I think rain is the biggest factor. You say, hey, we got rain in the forecast. You know.
No, they don't. They know.
That's what I'm saying. No, they'll let be like, hey, there's like maybe a 2-hour window.
They know.
But everybody knows. Again, I think the lineup exchange in baseball is more of like an honorary thing now because everybody does it. Like everyone knows the rules. Everyone knows the play. No one says, hey, when the ball hits the right field corner, you know, there's a hole there. Ball goes under.
It's already in an email.
It's already in an email. Everybody knows. So again, I think it's more of a formality. I want to say a quick shout out here. We got Gilberto Canano from Brazil saying hello. We got Greg Rainey saying, what's up, coach? He played with Oni in Arizona and around the day in Orland Park. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in here. La Vida Baseball, Being Guillén. If you're wondering where Ozzie and Oni are, Ozzie flew back to Miami. He's out there. Will be joining us shortly next week. And then Oni is actually on a trip, on a vacation now that other states have opened up. He is actually, I believe he's in California, if I am not mistaken. So, but they will be with us today. Is just us two doing the Being Guillén show, bringing you guys the best baseball possible. And again, if you have any questions, updates, just send us. I want to get into our second topic of, again, Rona, Corona, COVID-19. I got in trouble for calling it the Rona from all the older people on Twitter.
You're in trouble with some stupid.
Yeah, Phil Rogers said, don't call it the Rona. I think it's hilarious. I know it sounds bad because people have passed away from it, but I love the name of it. The street name is
But you never. You copied that name with somebody else.
Somebody else said it.
That's why.
Yeah. So it's like a street name for it.
It's always somebody with good hurt their feet.
Yeah. So the next topic is one that there's a site that I follow on Twitter. It's in Spanish. But one of my favorite things in baseball is scouting. Okay. I attended scout school. I respect scouting because it's a time when you see guys before guys are superstars. Okay. So I love reading scouting reports. Yesterday, I shared one with Jim Tomey's family, which we laughed because it was Jim Tomey's scouting report when he was a young high school player. It said Tomey's best quality was his speed. I was surprised. That was awesome. Again, he was in Peoria.
I guess I got a little bit too late. We got a bit too late.
Yeah, we got a little bit. The White Sox got a little bit too late. Even his wife was laughing. She thought it was hilarious because she really enjoyed it. But my favorite part of that scouting report was, and I shared it with Greg Walker, was he is built like Greg Walker.
Yes.
So in scouting reports, you basically see a little window of when a scout's really, really good or when a scout's really, really bad. If you saw my report and you go visit the Jorge Soler report that I wrote 5 years ago, everyone laughed at me because Jorge Soler wasn't the guy. But now in Kansas City, my report's coming, it's coming alive. So we got a report. I've never read a report of you. I never have. I've talked about it. I read it. So we came across a report. Someone shared it with us from the site, an Ozzie Guillén report from AAA. Okay, and the great part about this report is that it was written in like cursive. Somebody it was a completely different report. It felt like somebody didn't even give you a grade scale. The guy just basically was writing like a summary of you, and the report said, okay, here's the report, which is very hard to read. Wow. It's like a storyline. So I don't know if this was like an internal report, which I will keep doing investigation because two things. The report can come from two places.
That's a year I got trained.
You got what I'm saying, though.
That's why that report is very important.
So that report, and this is the part where it comes back to The Last Dance. What's happening is that report can be literally a Jack McKeon employee. Yes, because Jack was a GM.
Yeah, but I'm not saying because the stuff you showed me that was talking about, it was somebody saying go scout Ozzie Guillén.
So it says go scout Ozzie Guillén. So that means either somebody that was trying to trade for you. Obviously, the White Sox are one of those teams.
White Sox, the one I know.
Yeah.
White Sox, Philadelphia, and the Dodgers.
So the Phillies right now are winning because this report is written in Portland. And the first thing I asked you, I said, who was in Portland? Because there's no big league baseball there. This was in AAA. You said the Philadelphia Phillies, right?
Yes.
The Phillies. So we're going to do more investigation because this could have been Jerry Krause.
No, Jerry Krause.
It could have been. We don't know that.
But what Jerry say, I don't know. I do know. Really.
So we got some things. So we try to like paraphrase on the highlights. It says Ozzie Guillén is in the best hands in the league. Okay, so great defensively. He's hitting in AAA, but don't think he'll hit in the big leagues like he is in AAA.
Oh,
so you said, right. So what were you hitting in AAA?
about 318, I think.
So you were raking in AAA. So this Scott was saying he can hit, but he's not a 318 hitter.
No.
Okay. The one that I was surprised it says he doesn't steal a lot of bases.
No, I don't know.
I think compared to baseball now, you were a good runner. I think compared to baseball then, like if they compare you to like Vince Coleman, you weren't a base stealer.
No.
But compared to like baseball now,
Henderson.
Yeah, those guys are stealing. Like back then, if you stole 20, it wasn't a big deal. Now it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
It says so obviously you're in AAA. It says Templeton, okay, who's currently the shortstop. I can see him being moved to third and making Ozzie the everyday shortstop if he stays in San Diego.
If he stays in San Diego.
If he stays in San Diego.
That was my thinking. Well, let me tell you a very quick thought about that. When they say, Ozzie, you're going to be the next shortstop for San Diego Padres, I got a little excited. I think they was brainwashed me to go out there and play the way I wanted. You are going to be the next shortstop for San Diego Padres. They trade me to the White Sox. Thank God.
So how does that happen? Okay, so I've had the opportunity to talk. Obviously, I have insight. I asked Jerry, who I admire as an owner, because he's been around baseball for so long, and I said, what was the best move ever pulled by the White Sox? Like that you had no idea, and it just came out to be amazing. And he said, easy, Ozzie Guillén. We had no idea. Only Jerry Krause wanted him, and the general manager wanted him. And we were trading for a big name. I didn't know who Ozzie was. We didn't have video back then. We pulled the trigger. Ozzie, everything they told me came true. An everyday shortstop. Then he obviously manages, gets me the World Series, a great relationship. But Jerry says, I never got videos. And I said, well, how does that work? He said, Jerry Krause would literally come in every week. He would fly out wherever the Padres were, and he would come in with a report and say, this is a guy, this is a guy, this is a guy. He was actually trying to make a move for you in 83 for defense, but they wouldn't pull the trigger. But it was literally, like you said, Jerry Krause made that move possible. So the moves made, obviously Tony was on board with it. Tony wanted more defense, a change in baseball. But did they call you and say, hey, you just been traded? Because obviously you didn't get a text message.
Well, no, they did. I think that was coming the wire. When I find out I was traded, he coming the wire. I was playing Winter League. Okay. And the trade was Luis Salazar, Tim Lawler, Christensen, I think it was, Bill Long, for Lamar Hoy, a couple guys. And Luis Salazar
was a big name in Venezuela.
Big name, and we playing together.
In Venezuela.
And we were playing together. And I remember one guy come with a pad with the ugly socks. I think they made it himself. We take a picture. That's the day I so I know I was playing shortstop then. They thought it was better shortstop than me playing that particular time. I think they
the Venezuelan team.
And when we went to, I don't play Winter League in shortstop at all, not that much. And we went to Mazatlan, Mexico, and Tony La Russa fly to see me and have a conversation with me. Then my manager called me and go, hey, you have to play shortstop tomorrow. I said, what? I don't play shortstop tomorrow. Why? I didn't play shortstop in 3 months, 4 months. You think now because Tony La Russa is in town, what are you doing? No. And I did it. My name was right down shortstop. I ain't playing shortstop. You want to play me? Fine. You don't. I'm not playing shortstop for Tony La Russa. For what? You think Tony La Russa he say, yes, he's a great shortstop for one day. You want to see me for a couple hours? Then I'm not playing. Game's over. Tony La Russa said, I thought I was going to see you in shortstop. I said, no, we got better shortstop than me. Why you don't trade for that guy and play shortstop today? But making close. I remember that when they say, and I played with the White Sox. I started with the White Sox, I think. In first couple of years was outstanding. I made people
rookie of the year.
We was right with Ozzie. And they told me when you see they moved Gary Templeton 7 years later, San Diego Padres come to the city. You know what playing shortstop? 7 years later,
Gary Templeton.
I was like, oh my God! And remember, Gary Templeton got traded for Ozzie Smith.
So the part that's interesting is in the history of baseball is when you get, you look down the line. Let's say we actually ran into him in the Hall of Fame. The guy who played second base before you, who made the big league team as a second baseman, Carmelo Martinez.
Yeah, Carmelo see me there because that was to move. Before I was playing already. They don't want Juan Bonilla at second base for some reason. To me, Juan Bonilla was a tremendous second baseman. They moved Alan Wiggin from shortstop, from left field to second base, and Carmelo Martinez played left field. If Carmelo Martinez not make the team, I'm going to be the second baseman, and Alan Wiggin go back
to left field.
Well, poor Carmelo Martinez, he 9 home runs spring training.
And you said, I'm not going to the big leagues. So but that's the part that also works, right? Because if you become a second baseman, who knows what would have happened? But then right behind you is Roberto Alomar.
Oh God,
they were drafting Joey Cora. So like you don't know the history of San Diego when it comes to that. That's very interesting of like when teams moves are made. Someone asked, how do you develop good hands? I think that you're born with them. To an extent.
By the way, you develop quick feet.
So yeah, I wanted you to talk about that.
When people say, "Oh my God, look at those guys' hands," no, look at those guys' feet. You see Omar Vizquel playing shortstop. You see Tony Fernandez, rest in peace, playing shortstop. You see Alex Gonzalez playing shortstop. You see everybody. The only shortstop I see in my life, it was the great feet. It was Derek Jeter.
Horrible feet, good shortstop.
I don't think it was horrible feet. And his feet make the play harder
for him.
But I think development by your hand, you got to have quick feet and don't be afraid of the ball.
Don't be afraid of the ball. I'll tell you this much, guys, here on Being Guillén, it's not inherited. Having good hands is not something that you inherit. I think that I was decent at defense, like a little bit below average because I worked and took a lot of ground balls, but I was not good defensively.
No, well, you know.
I'm being serious.
Who's the quickest hand you're going to see? I said, Pedro Ruiz. That's what I mean. You go like this, you pop pick it, and go run it. You even know you got to, just take the water away.
The pop pick it from the
Leone.
Yeah, from your own neighborhood.
Who's the quickest hand you say? A lot of people, Marvin Scale, these guys say, no. Pedro Ruiz. Pedro Ruiz, they look around. Pedro Ruiz, yeah, that guy we raced together, and that guy take your wallet out of your pants. And you even know about it. That's
pickpocketing.
Going.
So when you were in the minor leagues, though, did you ever think when they talked about what would you kept when they kept telling you have to develop when you develop as a player? How do you take that? Like, is there a point that you're like, I'm doing as best as I can? How much more can I develop? Or do you say, you know what? Were you like, I'm gonna keep grinding, and when I get called up, I get called up?
In the minor league, I was a great hitter. Good hitter. I won the title in Reno, Nevada, California League. But I made 43 errors. Then I made 38 errors in AA. And Jack McKeon called me, said he bring me to instructional league. And Jack McKeon put his uniform down, and Jack McKeon was the GM. Put his uniform and started hitting me ground balls. And I'm all upset. I want to go back to Venezuela. I hate to be in San Diego. And I killed my mom. I remember that. Say, my mom, we got to cut out, and I got to go home.
I got to go see. I got to go home. I'm going to get somebody sick.
And finally, they give me $10,000 for the funeral and everything. My mom's still alive, thank God. But John McKeon told me in my face, if you don't get better, play defense, you're not going to play in the big league. Since that day, click. It's all about defense. Then I went to AAA. I made 13 errors, I think. Then I go to a big league. And the rest of it, everybody should know.
Yeah, obviously one of the best players defensively. But again, scouting reports, I always share them on my Twitter. That was an Ozzie Guillén one. We're going to keep doing some research, finding out who the scout was, because again, it's something that I'm really passionate about, love, and we are here in the Being Guillén show. Again, we'll share it. Take your time, but
I have a question, Ozzie. What GM or who got the time to read all that stuff? You can't even see it.
Hey, so it must have been an important memo.
Yeah,
it must have been an important.
They want every detail.
So here we go.
I'm sorry. And Jerry Krause now is the Jerry Krause thing with Michael Jordan and stuff. Jerry Krause told people, and Bart Johnson, rest in peace, he just passed away a couple of weeks ago, and they told Jerry Krause, and said, Ozzie Guillén said, you're not going to hit for power. You don't have a good arm. It's defense is outstanding. But that little shit, he can play.
He can play baseball.
He said that little shit, he can play baseball, and he will be a winner. And exactly, Jerry Krause was right. I could do anything special, but the only thing.
But again, that's scouting again.
He's a winner. He played to win. And that little shit is a very smart player.
So I think that when you were in baseball, I think that's something that's overlooked. I love scouting guys in game. How are they acting? Not when the ball's hit to them. That was something that was big for me. And talking about a scouting report, actually, that we've been shared with, a guy that when you look at his trajectory to the big leagues, it was not one that you would say that you would think that he'd be the player of the century. Right now, Albert Pujols is being said that he is the player of the century right now. Best hitter of the century.
Yes.
And do you think that when you were seeing Albert, okay, so the part that is interesting is now everyone sees Albert, especially younger fans following, they see Albert in Anaheim. They see Albert, the end of St. Louis. But there was a couple years where Albert was doing some amazing things, but there was a guy named Barry Bonds, and everybody was really focused on Barry. When you were coaching in Miami and you got to see Albert at first base in St. Louis, could you see the big difference of how what he was doing was that special, or was it something that was really, really going under the radar, even amongst the baseball world?
I think everybody looking at Albert Pujols he was a hitter. But Albert, he was a pretty good defensive player. Remember, he was third base.
Yeah, third baseman every day.
But you talk about Albert Pujols and Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds is the best player in the history of the game. Sorry what people think. I think this guy has got everything. He's check mark every point in baseball. Everything is you can check mark it. But I told the Marlins when I was with the Marlins, they want to sign Albert Pujols, and we talked to him. You know what I mean? They talked to him about money. I'm not care about money. They talked to his wife. Then when we left, and I said, you know what? I don't think we should sign Pujols. Not because I don't want it.
Yeah.
And the guy go, why? I said, I want it. I want it now. I want it with me. I will Pujols like I was Tony La Russa.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, everything is going to be better with. But I say, Pujols is going to be DH. What I mean, I saw him play last couple of years in Houston in St. Louis Cardinals, and I don't think he can last that long playing first base. So not because I say that they don't sign that, they don't sign it because of the money. I think they were faking it. I don't know. That's up to them. But I was worried about Pujols when the Marlins were to sign him, and I know he's not going to be. He was perfect. He was perfect to play an American League team.
Yeah.
What Moreno did, he get the money, Pujols there, and everybody every year. Well, we don't know what Pujols is going to do. And he continued to put numbers.
He produced. So the problem with Pujols in the situation when people are talking about numbers is that his numbers were so ridiculous that what he's doing now, everyone's like, oh, he's had an off year. And I'm like, he's producing just as much as any other DH
anybody
in the league. I think that people want to know, like, the Pujols keep playing even after the contract, the extension of the DH. I think that's up to him, his health, number one, but it's also up to the team that you're building, okay? Because if you have a guy like Pujols, then you have to have a lot of youth around him. You can't build a team around like a Pujols and a bunch of other Pujols. So I really think it's about what baseball's looking like at that moment, and if you can afford having a hitter like Albert, a guy that's going to be just a DH at one point. And I think it's all about how you build your team, and that's the current situation.
Right now, I think Pujols, after this contract, and it should be done. He did everything in baseball. He will be Hall of Fame. He got money, got his family. I think he will take care. He's a family man. I think he can do everything he wants in the game. Everything. He's so smart, and he's been in the game for so long. But he's already Hall of Famer. But when he go to Hall of Fame, he's retired the way he is right now. You don't have to wait 2 seasons. Is very bad.
Yeah.
If I not can play anymore, all of a sudden your numbers down, then it's not be the same. But I think this man is the best Latin American hitter. Well, all respect, we had great ones, man. God, we got good hitters in Latin America. But this man, he was,
So when I asked Miguel Cabrera, who's the best player in your era, hitting wise, he said Albert Pujols. He says that he's my bar. He's always been the guy that I've said if I'm close to him, I'm doing amazing things.
That's the guy. A lot of people. I don't think just Latino players. I think everybody. If you look at Mike Trout, I guarantee you, I said about Mike Trout, you will say, "Oh my God, you see this guy play every day, go by his business every day. How professional he is every day." I never was with Pujols in the Central Hall, but I hear a lot of great thing about it. And this guy go there by his business, go play and produce. And the way he produces right now, the same way you're talking with the kid in Minnesota.
Bauer?
No.
Oh, Nelson Cruz.
Oh my God, he got better and better and better and better. And people don't realize, they had Nelson Cruz, 100 years old. Who cares? Is that man going to produce for me? Yes. But the people don't think about Ozzie. is what that man is going to do in my clubhouse.
Correct.
That's
Correct.
it.
That's something that there's nothing better than a good clubhouse guy, but that can also produce.
Okay, respect
And a real good clubhouse guy is for real.
Yes.
He's not a fake clubhouse guy, because that can happen. Just because you're a veteran guy doesn't mean you're good in the clubhouse. He is a good clubhouse guy. So the next one, you can follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook. Follow us, please, on Twitter. If you want to catch La Vida Baseball live, you can always do it on Mondays and Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our La Vida Baseball show. Again, Being Guillén every Friday. Also, if you want to catch it on demand, it is on YouTube, and then our podcast, if you're a podcast listener. So please subscribe and like it. Yesterday, I got sent a video.
Every time you say that, I'm working with a lot of Carolina Guillén, all those guys. How do you memorize all that?
All that? I don't think. I just see it become second nature. I don't know. I think maybe just watching too much TV and practicing.
No. They told me, Ozzie, can you say this? Hi, I'm Ozzie Guillén from the Chicago White Sox. Welcome to. I couldn't say like that.
It gets a little harder if it's for me in Spanish, but in English, I think it comes a little bit natural. So Oni sends me a message yesterday, and it's a video. Oni watches every rerun of every White Sox game from the 05 season. I really don't have the time, but it's really cool for the people they are because of things like this. So he sends me this clip of Jose Vizcaíno's on the mound, and it's me in the dugout, which I had no idea this even happened because obviously I didn't rewatch the games. And the best part is that Hawk is talking about me. So somebody put gum in my hat, and I'm like going for like 2-3 innings with gum in my hat, and I'm talking to players, and I have no idea that this gum's in my hat.
They love to have fun in the game.
So I think it's your team players are just dumb. I can probably. So I was asking. I was like, people are like, who did it? You know what? It's probably not. It's a pitcher. It's Burley. It's the pitchers. It's Burley. He wasn't pitching. They're probably doing it and making fun of it. So
no, Burley. No, you got Burley.
Burley, Freddie, Contreras, Garland.
I bet Freddie come up with that idea.
Yeah.
And I think they do it. Maybe Timo did.
Maybe Timo again.
I know Osuna did it. I know Timo.
That was a very laid back clubhouse dugout. Again, I'm the translator there. The best part of the translator is like if your guy's not playing, I never translated in the middle of a game because you and Joey spoke Spanish. So it was never like, what is this guy saying? And I didn't have an Asian guy like Iguchi's translator did. So if my guy wasn't pitching, I didn't have to do a pre or post. Everything for me was more pre and then after the game. During the game, they're like, what did you do? I'm like, well, I either sit upstairs and eat or depending on how cold it was, or I sit on the bench and again, just what do you do on the bench? Watch the game, talk about baseball, and then here, in our case, hear Jose Contreras funny stories or Duque funny stories.
Or criticize the manager.
Which didn't happen a lot.
Oh, really?
It didn't happen. You know what? It didn't happen as much. I think we would laugh at guys that would second guess that we knew that were second guessing. We thought it was really funny when you would get really, really upset, like that one time in Oakland, or when you go argue with the ump and they weren't paying attention. That we would get a kick out of that. But pranking wise, were you ever a big pranker when you were playing?
Oh, a lot. They used to. I don't think people can prank. They have a telephone in the clubhouse. Before now, I don't think they're allowed to have phones in the clubhouse. They have phone in the clubhouse, and I was in Texas, and my son said, "You had a phone call." I was a kid. I picked the phone. I have shaving cream.
Yeah.
I put in my phone and go, "Hello," and we call it Booter Boy, Booter. And Booter always play with guys. Put for me like shaving cream in shoes. Mm-hmm. The worst prank, I think, Danny Hills put a prank on Ivan Calderon. Ivan is a veteran player, and Danny Hills. And Danny Hills only have one pair of shoes. He take batting practice winning, he play with him, and we in Milwaukee. And I drive early with Calderon and say, "Oh, this guy think it was funny last night. Watch." And he pooped in his shoes. Oh. Then we start practicing all the song. This man put in shoes, and he had to play with him because he don't have anything. Obviously, they clean it out, But that was the funniest thing.
Poop in his shoe.
And I don't think you want to fight with.
You would not want to fight with Ivan Calderon. Poop in his shoe. You see, my prank was normal. I think I've seen the one that was the worst to me. That was funny because I didn't know. I got picked up throwing in the whirlpool. That happened often. That happened to Oni all the time. But one time I got I came over extremely hungover. Wild night the night before. I was so tired and I couldn't stay awake. And I went into your office and I went to sleep. I'm like, Brett, I'm not playing. I don't even have to do a thing until after the game. Mark Burley was not a fan of that. He said, "Oh, really? You think you're going to be here? You're just going to go get to sleep?" And they started they put whipped cream and stuff in my hand and he kept playing and I just kept hitting myself. And I woke up and I had that was another one because it wouldn't let me sleep.
But this is the best one. I always take a nap. Always. Between batting practice.
Oh, that was a good one.
Batting practice, I take a nap, 20-minute nap. I put this man, make sure I'm not late for the national anthem. Put in my chest. I'm in Toronto. All of a sudden, they moved the clock of the manager. Burley moved the clock. 1:25, and they told the assistant trainer to wake me up. And all of a sudden, he go, Papi, wake up. I go, what's up? I look up, 1:25. I ran out of the clock. I just run out of the clock. People sitting there, and they see me with a Latino car. Oh my God, my Latino car. All of a sudden, was there. The 1:25, the game was 1:05. I'm 20 minutes late. I almost got a heart attack. And everybody in the clubhouse was just laughing.
That's awesome.
I got be mad. I was like, where's Burley? Where's Burley? And I think that's the biggest prank anybody can put in anybody because I'm very, my rules was my rules.
Yeah. I've seen tell a guy hey.
And they couldn't wait me to break the rules just to kill me.
Oh, yeah.
And I break the rule and I go, oh my God. I run out of the office and people just laughing at the crowd.
No, it's especially they're telling you they do it to the rookies of telling them, hey, the bus is at this time.
And they told
the guy shows up, no bus. Hey, the guy is freaking out. The funniest prank I've ever seen. Okay, this is so wrong. And because they did it to Newt. Newt was this guy was a special guy when they traded Newt to Baltimore.
Oh, it's Newt for another clubby.
Yes.
Oh, what's his name?
Two clubbies got traded.
You got traded, yeah.
And
I know they're covering everything.
Yeah, they had a paper
everything.
with we trade this person between the Baltimore Orioles and Chicago White Sox. Moose. It was between Moose and Newt. Two icons, both in the 80s in the White Sox and Orioles clubhouses. And Newt's a diehard White Sox. And they traded him.
And Moose is a big tight end.
And Moose is a big Ultimate. And they got traded. They were playing each other. And, they had almost a press conference. And these guys were crying. They
Well, Moses come to me and go, hey, I just got traded to you guys. Hey, welcome, brother. No, I like John Ricken better. they knew what to basic. And go to me go, hey, son, I just got traded. I go, what? Who traded you without telling me? They have to ask me first. Well, they just did, look. Then I picked the thing and go, bro, I don't really know English. And go, basically go, basically whatever basically say.
It has to, yeah.
Basically go, man, Newt, I live close to Baltimore, whatever you need. And now we find out this is real.
This is real.
Like
maybe said, maybe.
But basically, my family's in Baltimore, do anything.
Oh my God! So two grown men crying because they didn't want to trade.
Crying because
Ozzie, I'd rather stay with Cal Ripken than come with you guys. So that's awesome because again, that's got to be everyone in the front office, everyone in the team to be able to come together to do that. And I think these are just things that happen when teams are getting along and you're kind of laid back. And again, you're together for so long. Again, going back to the clubhouse things, these are things that you have to feel comfortable with. I remember you used to cut people's ties.
Yeah.
You wore a tie 2 days in a row, same tie. You're cutting, again, you have to give the kid money to go get a new tie, but those are types of engagement that you feel comfortable in
Well, since then when you're a dress, you come from AAA. I was a guy. If I say all the morning I buy people's clothes, they don't have a house right now.
Yeah.
As soon as you get to AAA, I buy you a couple shirt, a couple suit because you gotta wear a sport coat. I buy it. That's the type of teammate you don't have. Your teammates don't want to take you drink every night.
Yeah.
And it's funny because every time I see we have to wear a tie, and every time I see, I just cut that thing up. And Roy Ventura, the very nice guy, go, Ozzie, on cargo wise, he got the same tie from the last trip. You got a clacata. We call it clacata. And I just, because you had to wear a tie. You don't wear a tie, it was $200. Then that's a little thing. You are and stuff. The rookie guys right now, you go to the bus, they not sit in the bus to the last guy sit.
Yeah.
Because they respect now. Now you see rookie kids just sit down and say, this is my seat. What? You know what I mean?
That's the nature of the game that I think has changed. I think.
But that's why I say I worry about those rules, man. I don't think baseball goes that crazy. There's so many rules on there they're gonna break. This is like a church. This is like my
it's a sanctuary.
My sanctuary. You know, you can change that over the night.
Well, it's not just Ozzie.
By the way, people are gonna take a shower. I guarantee you, if that rules come on, players gonna take a shower in the clubhouse. And you know what?
I'll get fined.
I'm fine on there.
I'm just saying the first 0 for 40. 0 for 20. 0 for
4.
You're gonna be like, I'm showering.
You take 0 for 4 with an error, so somebody will say, you know what?
Yeah, and then you have to, and then the manager, which I want you guys before I wrap up is, don't get on managers, because some managers say, you know what, guys, I'm letting my guys shower here. We're breaking the rule. What are you gonna do? Because then you don't want to be the guy telling your players, hey, you can't do this. You don't want to be that guy.
Okay, especially when the manager don't have any.
Especially they don't like you.
And they don't have any big league.
Yeah, any clout.
Somebody in the clubhouse don't like you. That's normal. 2-3 guys don't like you. They hate you. Somebody go, you know what? Get out my face. Who are you? Yeah. You're my manager. You're not my dad.
That's just excuses for more problems to come up, especially guys that are like in the iffy zone. This is going to be a bigger challenge.
If you sick, boom, you're gonna be 40 players.
How many guys are gonna lie about being sick?
One rule I have: if you sick, be sick. When you hungover,
I got the flu,
bro. I went out last night. I drink a lot. I will protection.
But you will know, and that's a problem that players don't know. Like if you have influenza, if you're sick for real, people will know. The trainer will be like, "This guy's got this." If you're like, "Oh, I don't feel good," and you're not sick,
and the trainer, Hermes Snyder, called me, go, "Papi, what's up?" He thinks he's sick.
He thinks he's sick.
I know he's hungover. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
And I got one thing that really pissed me off and really made me upset. And one of my players lied to me because I did. The only thing I was stupid, I was playing.
Yeah, don't lie.
I said, listen, bro, if you have a problem, I just saw your problem. Hey, I don't want to play. I can't play today because I had a fight with my wife. My kid was sick. I'm playing you. When they ask me about it, I say, hey, why not playing? I don't want to play him. Shut up.
I'll protect you. I'll protect you as a manager.
If you come drunk or hungover,
and
you say I'm not sick because I couldn't sleep last night, then we have problems.
Don't lie, guys. Key thing there, Ozzie Guillén Jr. here on Being Guillén. That is it for today. Have a happy Friday. We will be back next week on Vida Baseball, live Monday, Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and here on Being Guillén with the Guillén boys, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your questions, and keep listening to us on Vida Baseball. Ciao.